So it's close to Halloween. Are you ready? I have 3 simple, easy costumes that anyone, any size can wear. Hi, I'm Elise and welcome to my channel. So on my channel, I do things like crafts, I talk about Disney, and I do some travel. Well, today I'm going to show you 3 easy, simple, well, somewhat simple costumes that you can make just by getting stuff from the Dollar Tree or using stuff that you have at home. So I hope you're ready. Sit back and let's get going. So today I'm at our local Dollar Tree and I'm going to get some things to make a quick and easy costume. We just so happen to be next to a Spirit location, but I'll show you how much easier it is to get something from the Dollar Tree than pay all that money at a Spirit store.
So the first thing I saw was some crepe paper. I thought, I have an idea for that. And next place I went was over to the stickers and the paint area. But man, that paint area was a mess. I couldn't believe how messy it was. But I found some paint. Then I saw this really cool duct tape that was kind of shiny and iridescent. So I thought, oh, that's a good one. And I had an idea for these socks. So I grabbed some socks. So I grabbed one more thing and we were off. So the first costume that I wanted to make was what I like to call the road.
So what you'll need is some tape, either like this iridescent tape or some white tape, even just regular masking tape would work, just something that'll show up on black. I've got some cork cardboard, a poster board, a ruler, the orange paint I bought, some sponge brushes, scissors, and an X-Acto knife, and a big piece of poster board. Because what I'm going to do first is make a cone, like a caution cone that you see like at construction sites or along the roadside, especially here in Texas. So all I did at first is just measure 10 inches up and then at the top, because this is going to be the base of the construction cone.
And then I just cut it out. And I used the X-Acto knife because I found with this kind of poster board, it's so much easier to cut than it is with scissors. It's not super thick, but it's just easier. The foam on the inside, it just gets all over the place when you use scissors. So if you can use any kind of like blade, it just makes it so much easier. Although this particular day I seemed to really have an issue with my knife. Maybe it wasn't as sharp as it should be, but I just seemed to struggle.
So once I got the square cut out, I took just a little paper bowl and traced out a circle. Then once the circle was traced out, I went ahead and grabbed the X-Acto knife again and just cut along the line. The funny thing is it was easier to actually cut the circle than it did just the straight lines. I don't know why, but it did. Once I cut out the circle, I realized it was too small and I ended up having to make it
bigger and more oval to fit on my head. Then it was time to try and fit the cone part into the base. So for some reason, my brain just was not connecting to how to get this to work. I tried a few different ways, but I just couldn't get the right shape. I just couldn't get it the right size, and my brain just wasn't connecting. I'm sure there were better ways to do this, and somebody who is more of a crafty person than me could have figured it out, but I did finally get it to the size and shape I needed to make this cone happen. So the next thing I did was I trimmed off the bottom of the cone, and then I cut strips into the bottom so they could be folded up. I hot glued them and glued each one individually to the base of the cone. So that made it more sturdy, and it didn't move around on the base of the cone. Once everything was glued down, I just reinforced it so it would stay. Make sure that they were all even and flat. Then I proceeded to paint the cone orange. Now it would have been easier if I would have been able to find orange poster board, then I wouldn't have to worry about painting it, but it still works. So the next step, which is the easiest step, is you're going to put your tape on the clothes. Now, you could do blue, but black, of course, is better since roads are black. And since we have a lot of cats, I had to get all the cat hair off, which is a normal thing in our house. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your tape, either like this iridescent tape or, like I said, white tape, masking tape. And I cut it down the middle with the X-Acto knife since it was so wide. So because you want to get more of a narrow tape to do this, because what you're going to do is you're going to make the lines of the road. So first what I did is I just, since there was the point of the shirt, I just decided to go put it down on one side, and then I was going to put it down on the other side. So I just was trying to make the line down the center, and I decided at the last minute that it was going to be actually the broken line first, and then I was going to do the solid line. So after I was done with the shirt, putting on the solid line, it was time to do the pants. I just made sure that I had the right side of the pants with the right side of the shirt. I did one side with solid, and then the other side with the broken lines. And there you have it. A road. You become a road. So as you can see, I did add a few accessories. I added a Route 66 sign and a speed limit sign. And yes, I should have made my hat, the whole of my hat on the base just a little bit bigger, because once I added the tabs on it, I think it made it a little too small and it kept falling off my head. But I think it still turned out pretty good. So the next costume on my list was Miss Kitty. So for this craft, you're going to need a few things. The socks that we got, it came with 2 pairs, some more of the cork cardboard, and you're going to cut out a shape of an ear, hot glue gun, scissors, and headbands. You're also going to need some stuffing or some batting to help the ears be a little bit more fluffy. I also bought a cute little collar to go with the outfit. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to trace and cut out 2 triangles for the ears. And again, I'm using the cork cardboard poster board paper. So once they're cut out, one thing I like to do is trace the curve from the inside of the headband. It helps make the ears fit over or onto the headband a lot easier. So once you do that, you just cut that out as well. Once you get it cut out, what I like to do is kind of place it on the ear, make sure that it's fitting over that curve, but I forgot to do that. Then the next thing you do is you're going to take some batting or some stuffing and you're going to trace it and cut that out, because that's going to help your ears be a little bit more fluffy instead of just like hard straight triangles. After you cut out a piece of batting for each ear, if you want to make them fluffier, all you need to do is cut out another triangle and just double the thickness, and then it will really make your ears look thick and fluffy. I just used 1 layer for each pair of ears. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out a piece of square from the socks that we bought, and that's what we're going to use to cover each of the ears. As you can see, there's a lot of excess, so You're just basically going to kind of trim that down a little bit so it's just a little easier to manage and to maintain. Then you're just going to hot glue the edges of the black material onto the non-batting side of the ears. And just kind of pull it tight, but not too tight, but just so you get a nice good cover of the ears. And just do all the sides. So the next part, after you get all your ears covered in the black material, you're going to put the matching ears together after they're all covered, and you're going to attach them to your headband. Now, like I said, I forgot, but you're going to put the two back to back and glue them. Then as you can see, then you're going to glue them onto the headband. This is just one of the headbands I've bought in the past from the Dollar Tree, but I had it in a box in my closet, and so I thought it was perfect to use for it. So after you glue it, you just kind of hold it in place. Until it's nice and dry, and there you have it, your cat ears. So now our cat needs its tail. So this is one of the socks that we got from the Dollar Tree, and instead of using batting this time, I'm using fluff, and I'm just going to stick it in there all the way to the bottom and just keep filling it until it's nice and thick and fluffy. Okay, so once it's nice and thick, you're just going to kind of move it around, just kind of shape it, make sure it's all kind of in there as evenly as possible. And then I got some wire, and I thought it would be fun, instead of having it just kind of hang there, to actually give it some shape. So I just stretched it out from top to bottom. I didn't measure it with a ruler or anything, but I did want it to be kind of more sturdy, so I did double it up before I cut it. And then once I cut it, I just stuck it into the sock. I did have to move it around a little bit just to get it kind of around the wire, but it worked and I was able to shape it. So this is my Miss Kitty look, and as you can see, I also added a little bit of accessories. I made gloves with the end of the socks, and then the collar I bought didn't fit around my neck, so I just grabbed some ribbon and put the bell on it from the collar, and voila. So the last costume I'm going to make, I call the Hula Lula, just because. So for this costume, you're going to need some cupcake sleeves and some crepe paper. I also got a measuring tape because you're going to have to measure a couple places. So first what I did is I measured myself how long I wanted the skirt to be, and then I measured the crepe paper. and I measured about 23 inches. Once I got the measurement, then I just started going back and forth until I had enough strips to make my skirt. Once I had enough, and I didn't count how many I had, but I knew I had a lot, I decided I was going to cut it into strips so it would flow a little better. So I would grab probably about 6, 7, maybe 8 to 10 strips of the crepe paper at once. Made sure that they were all even at the top, and then I folded them a few times just so it would be easier, because I did try to do it long ways. I don't know why, but then once I got it folded, I cut. It was a lot easier to cut it into the 3 separate strips. Also, I left probably about an inch and a half at the top, so I could have a little bit of room when I taped them all together on the ribbon that I got to stick them to. I had this nice wide piece of ribbon in my stuff, and I thought, oh, that will be perfect to connect the different strands to. Speaking of connecting the strands together, I thought the quickest and easiest way would be to use double-sided tape. So I first did just a little bit at a time because I wasn't sure how well it was going to work. So I just took a little piece off, placed it on the ribbon, and started to add each strip individually. I should have counted how many it took me to make it across the whole ribbon, but it wouldn't really matter because everybody's different sizes, so what might take more for me may take less for you. So after I was done, I was looking at it and I just thought it was kind of thin. I wanted it to have a little bit more flow to it, not so see-through. So I did decide to add another layer, and I actually got a darker layer and kind of put it behind it so it would give it a little bit more depth. Yeah, after I put the second layer on, it seemed to be a lot thicker. It wasn't terribly thick, but it did seem a lot better. So then the next thing that I needed to do was fold the ribbon over that second layer, which would give it a more narrow waist. So once again, I grabbed the double-sided tape since we are making this a simple, easy costume. And I just set it on the top of the ribbon now instead of on the bottom. It was very sticky tape. I had a hard time getting it off my finger. So once you get the tape on, you're just going to fold it over onto itself basically. And then just kind of press it all down, make sure that it's as even as possible. It's just a simple costume, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But there you go. So I was going to make these cute little flowers using cupcake sleeves that I saw in a book, but as I attempted to do so, I realized that my talent does not lie in making cute flowers out of cupcake sleeves. So I decided to just give it up. I went back to the Dollar Tree and got flowers, actual silk flowers. So the first thing I did was just take all the buds off of each stem. It makes it a lot easier to thread them. So once I got all of the flowers off, I wanted to figure out kind of the design of the lei. So I just kind of laid them down, just kind of trying to figure out what would be kind of a nice pattern. So once I got the pattern that I wanted, it was time to thread them. By the time I was done threading all of the flowers together, I realized that it wasn't quite long enough for a full lei. It was just going to be big enough to go around my head. I didn't record this part, but once you're done threading all the flowers together, you're going to take the ends on either side and just tie them into a knot. Now you're ready for the hula lula. So I decided to just wear a cute little floral top that I had with some black shorts. But if you want to be crazy and silly, you can make yourself some coconuts out of paper bowls. Yes, I was crazy and made myself some coconuts from paper bowls. So to make the coconuts, I just took 2 paper bowls, cut the edges off, painted them brown, and I had to do 2 coats of this. Once they were dry, I did a lot of speckling with 4 different colors: black, kind of a burgundy, a darker brown, and some white. Once that was done, I added string to them to tie them on, and they were done.
Okay, so there you have it. 3 easy, simple costumes. Okay, I have to admit, they weren't quite as easy and simple as I thought. I struggled with some of it, and they took me a lot longer to do than I thought it was going to. But they're still like inexpensive, and they are somewhat easy. It's just, I'm not as good a crafter as I would like to be. But I'm just an ordinary person who likes to do crafts. But if I could do it, you could do it. And I had a lot of fun, especially like putting them on and showing them off. But my sisters kind of laughed at me. But, you know, it's that time of year where it's all about having fun. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any really creative costume ideas, comment below, because I am always looking for great costumes. My sisters and I, even though we are full adults, getting up there, we love to dress up. We have had so many costumes throughout the years, and we're always looking for new ideas. So anyway, if you'd like to see those costumes, comment below and I will do a video just kind of running through them. So anyway, I hope you had fun watching this video and it gave you some ideas. So if you like this kind of content, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does help. And also, don't forget to subscribe and push that bell notification. So the next time I have a video come up, which is at least once a week, you will be notified and we can have fun together. So until next time, I hope you have a great day, a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye!